Welcome to Hanover County Public Schools. This video will help you learn more about Hanover's road to digital learning. My name is Stacy Taylor, and I'm the ITRT for Bell Creek Middle School. In this video, you will first hear from Chris Biaggiarelli, ITRT and the Digital Project Manager. He'll give you a little bit of a history lesson on where we've come from and where we are heading in our district with regards to the Digital Learning Initiative. After that, we'll take a look at blended learning. Without further ado, here's Chris.
The pandemic caused us to make changes to the classroom environment, push pause on plans, and forgo some best practices in favor of safety and the continuity of learning. Let's take a look at what our planned path was, the actual path we took, and how we get back on the right track. Our original path took into account careful planning, preparation, training, and support at each level before one-to-one devices were to be introduced. This was to ensure that teachers and administrators had a clear understanding of blended learning and how the devices could support it. It also provided opportunity for teachers and administrators to understand how to best manage their classrooms and buildings with every student having a device. While the arrival of the devices was the big event, the focus wasn't intended to be solely on the devices, but instead how they could support learning. This whole process was intended to take 3 to 4 years, but the spring and summer of 2020 changed that. This is what we experienced. Blended professional learning opportunities were offered to middle school teachers, high school teachers, and later in the summer, elementary teachers, not knowing what classrooms would truly look like in the fall. With every school division in the country ordering Chromebooks, manufacturers were unsure if they could deliver enough devices in time. The focus quickly changed from blended learning to the devices and how to get one into the hand of every student in order to create a level playing field in preparation for what school might look like in the fall. Deploying devices to all students 3 years ahead of schedule and ahead of planning and preparation that we hoped to have became necessary to ensure the continuity of learning for our students in the event school would be 100% remote in the fall. And for 6,500 plus students, it would be. So why was getting a Chromebook into the hands of every student so important? First, we had to ensure that all students had equal access to the materials and resources they needed for class. To create the most equitable experience possible, the first shipment of Chromebooks went to our newly created online schools instead of the middle schools as originally planned. Giving students the same type of device allowed IT, curriculum specialists, administrators, teachers, and parents to provide uniform, consistent support to students as they embarked down this new learning journey. The Chromebook for these students had to serve as their virtual classroom, so it was important that these students receive their devices first. Hanover also provided MiFi hotspots to online students that had limited or no internet access at home. The Chromebooks and MiFi devices allowed teachers to connect with students to build relationships, keep them and their parents informed of important information via Schoology, and conduct class via Zoom. The Chromebooks enabled us to create an online environment that included both synchronous and asynchronous experiences for our students. Later in the face-to-face environment, the Chromebooks help support remote learning for students that were required to quarantine, along with supporting daily classroom activities. It's important to recognize that what a lot of us experienced last year was not blended learning. What we experienced was a combination of remote and online learning with some blended elements. Remote learning is not the same as online learning, which is not the same as blended learning. While they do have some overlap, such as the use of devices, they are 3 distinct methods of teaching and learning that require unique skill set and pedagogical understanding. Because of the circumstances of the past year, we had to focus more on the devices, remote learning, and online learning, rather than blended learning.
So what is blended learning? While there are many similar definitions out there, Hanover County decided to define blended learning as a combination of online and face-to-face instruction that gives students some control over path, place, and pace. Path meaning the activities they choose to do to reach the goal set by the teacher. Place meaning where and when they work on those activities. And pace meaning that they have control over managing the time it takes to complete those activities. The key word in all of this is that some control, not total control. The classroom teacher is still the instructional leader in the room and sets goals and due dates. Let's watch a short video that helps illustrate this definition.
Where Learning Clicks presents What's Up with Blended Learning? Blended learning is an instructional method that integrates the traditional classroom with innovative technology. But it's more than just technology-rich instruction. According to the Clayton Christensen Institute for Disruptive Innovation, blended learning is defined as a formal education program with 3 key attributes. 1. Students learn at least in part through online learning, with some element of control over the time, place, path, and/or pace of their education. 2. Students are, at least in part, supervised in a brick-and-mortar location away from home. And 3. The modalities along each student's learning path within a course or subject are connected to provide an integrated learning experience. In other words, blended learning is an instructional method that enables teachers to provide students with a more personalized learning experience. It leverages technology and the internet as a way to enhance learning and promote understanding, while also putting students in the driver's seat when it comes to their education.
To support a blended learning environment, Hanover students have access to a variety of tools and are easily accessible on Chromebooks. G Suite for Education consists of applications from Google. The main tools students use include Docs, Sheets, Slides, Drawings, and Drive. The free set of tools helps students demonstrate their knowledge in a variety of ways, as well as easily collaborate and communicate with their peers and teachers. Schoology is a widely used tool in Hanover and is the backbone to a blended learning classroom. This is our learning management system and is your students' one-stop shop for class announcements, materials, assignments, and class events. Access to Schoology and what's going on in a class becomes so easy now that students will have the same device. There will be no more straining to see assignments on small cell phone screens. Schoology also makes communication between students, parents, and teachers easy with the available mobile app. Teachers can update Schoology and interact with students via the app, while parents and students can easily see what assignments are due, check student progress, message the teacher, and get insight into what their student is learning about in class on a day-to-day basis. While Schoology consists of the daily happenings in the classroom, PowerSchool, on the other hand, keeps track of grades and attendance. As a teacher, you will be entering attendance daily and updating grades. Just like Schoology, parents and students can stay connected to up-to-date grades and attendance by accessing PowerSchool on any device. While blended learning may be familiar to some, others may be new to this way of teaching. Hanover County ITRTs have developed the Blended Learning Toolkit to serve as a great resource for teachers to use in helping them to be better equipped with understanding the pros and cons to instructional technology when selecting a tool to help support student learning, especially in a one-to-one environment. The link to this can be found in the Technology Onboarding course. You'll have additional opportunities to learn about blended learning and digital tools as you become more acclimated to Hanover County Public Schools. Your ITRT serves as your coach and advisor in all things related to blended learning and instructional technology. Please don't hesitate to reach out to him or her in your attempts at providing your students some control over pace, path, and place. Once again, welcome to Hanover County Public Schools. We look forward to working with you.